the Rod and Fez Show. Ron Bennington, Fez Whatley with you on a Tuesday.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, Fezzy, what do we got?
Pat Summerall, he's getting back in the broadcast booth to call NFL games.
Yeah, but without his liver, so I don't know if it's going to be the same. I preferred him with his own liver.
He's going to fill in with Joe Theismann and Paul McGuire on ESPN, while the regular play-by-play guy, Mike Patrick, recovers from heart surgery.
Maybe he'll say, here's my old liver, Paul McGuire, who looks like an alcohol-damaged old liver.
And we'll throw it to my liver to tell us if it's a first down or not.
And I know in this town we're supposed to say, oh, Joe Theismann's terrific. But to me, when I watch a game with it, him and McGuire, I think it stinks on ice.
They're just awful. And you know what? I'm glad Pat Summerall's doing this. It may just show those other two how to do a game.
I don't think it could. I don't think they're awake to the fact of how to do a game. I think Jesus could come in there and do the play-by-play, and those two would still be inappropriate.
The only introspection we get into the game is when it's close to a first down and McGuire screams, he's got it.
Oh.
And then the other guys will go, I don't think so. It looks a little short. He's got it. And that is all we get.
Theismann, can we go into a long-winded story about how you would have completed that pass and your Super Bowl march? There's something about those two guys that drives me crazy. And I'm going to tell you the truth. It keeps me off the ESPN games.
If emergency liver transplant surgery hasn't done in Pat Summerall, this may just do it. He may just be found dead in the booth.
Oh, that would be awful.
Michael Vick says he's going to grow his hair out and not cut it until he has a Super Bowl ring.
He sounds just like Fez, except for he's going the hair instead of the beard.
He stole my buckbeard idea.
Can you imagine the big Bernie from Route 222 afro that he's going to go before the Falcons end up with a ring?
It's not going to be able to work. There's no way it's going to fit under a helmet, even if you braid it.
How fro can you go? How fro can you go? Yeah, you can't have a gigantic afro and play football.
I mean, you see the guys like Ricky Williams. The dreads alone look like they're weighing him down.
Yeah, you're gonna have to dread the thing. He's got to back out of this.
He'll cut it by the end of the season.
Sure,
that's how long the fro lasts.
I say he cuts it by his first injury,
and it won't be with a Super Bowl ring in his hand. There will be scissors in his hand, but not a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, but is there any more player that's more exciting to watch than Michael Vick? Even if you don't like him. Even if you don't like the Falcons, anything can happen when that guy drops back.
He's very exciting to watch. I think now, though, the thing that a lot of people are going to be watching is that leg going to go again?
Yeah.
Now every hit he takes, it's going to be people wonder, is he out again for the rest of the season?
That adds to the excitement for me. Maybe you get to put him out.
Real gladiator perspective.
Thank you.
Now, Marcus Vick, his little brother, he has been suspended for the entire Virginia Tech Hokie 2004 football season.
So that's a great year to look for.
I had the feeling now they're the same person. We haven't had them play in the same year at all. So Marcus Vick, he's out due to his run-ins with the law.
It's Freaky Friday with the Vick brothers.
So first of all, he had the big party where he didn't get assault charges, but he did give the underage girls alcohol.
He just gave them alcohol, but he didn't really have sex with them, right? Because that was one of the first things that came up.
Right, yeah, he dodged any of that.
Good.
Then it was the reckless driving and the marijuana possession. Those were the latest charges, and now he's done for the year.
I say boys will be boys. I would let it go. Slap on the wrist, put him back out there.
I think the fortunate thing for him is he's a redshirted sophomore. He's got time to get his act together and have 2 good. He loses a year eligibility, but he's got 2 good years with the Hokies to show something.
So better to happen now than this is senior year. Maybe we'll find out. Okay, this is the thing that scares him straight, makes him start walk that path.
Yeah, and the Hokies are looking at a really rough season anyway. They've only got 9 starters coming back. I think they face Southern Cal in week 1. So it's a really nice year to sit out.
All right, if he wants to abuse the alcohol and get crazy, let him go sit with Paul McGuire for a year and see what it's like to become an old crazy drunk.
Put him in the booth with before and after pictures, Summerall and McGuire.
Summerall, I can't believe that he has to work with those 2 guys. Why wouldn't they let him get together with Tom Brookshire? One last run.
That would be nice. Is Brookshire alive?
Yeah, I think, he's definitely still alive.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I know because I saw him in the bio of him. He was one of the people that went to Summerall and said, bro, I know we partied for a long time, but you got to check in.
This must be some gimmick thing because with all the young guys at ESPN, you would think there would be someone to be able to step into that play-by-play thing without going outside the house to get Pat Summerall.
Yeah, but, it does kind of work for this, It does kind of seem cool to see him one more time.
Now, Nomar, he's now a Cubby.
Yeah. So way to go from one Jinx team to another one, Nomar.
The curse of the Bambino to the curse of the Billy Goat, I think they call it.
Yeah, it's the Billy Goat curse. This is huge for the Cubs. I think it's bad for the Sox. I know that he wasn't happy there after everything that happened with A-Rod. I personally think that they owe the guy more. But at the same time, you got to be a pro.
I was reading some article where they're like, hey, how come his Achilles tendon is feeling so much better now that he's in Chicago?
I think he even told Chicago I can't play every day, though. He already told them I might miss 40 or 50 games, which is nice when you're getting $40 or $50 million. It's got to be a lot of 3-day weekends for Nomar.
I need to miss a game for every $1 million that I'm getting.
But when the guy is on, there's nobody like him. I'm a huge fan. I hope it works out for him. I really am. I'm not looking forward to seeing the Cubs fans happy, though. The one thing I want in life is the Cubs fans to be sad and the Boston fans to be sad.
Half of the Olympic tickets are still unsold, and we are just days away from the opening ceremonies of the game.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising, huh? No one's going to that skeet shooting event. It'll be kind of cool if you do see empty stands, like it was Vince McMahon's football league playing for the 100 meters. You just see a couple people here and there.
It'll look like the very first Super Bowl, that footage that you see, where it's, no one knew how big these Olympics were going to become in 2004.
And the massive Rose Bowl, only 18 people showed. Yeah, I'm shocked. I know everyone's worried about the terrorism. Well, look, Fez, you even wanted to hold our team back. You're still pretty scared about it, right?
I'm very nervous about the Olympics, and I'm going to be watching it because I love the coverage, and I'm afraid I'm going to be watching it. Something bad's going to happen.
Well, it normally does. It's happened quite a few times along those lines. But you got to figure, okay, if you're an athlete, you work towards this, you're saying to yourself, I got to go. This is my only chance to do what I've worked my whole life for. The fans don't necessarily feel that way. They're like, hey, in another 4 years, maybe they'll be one in a safer time, safer place.
Tourism got to be the main reason, but I think the terrorism, but I think the tourism also, where people were really saying early on, you're not going to be able to get a flight to Greece. And things are going to be so expensive there. I mean, that was the word when it was first announced.
Yeah, I think it's more terror than tourist stuff, Fezzy. I think that a lot of people were thinking it's not worth it. Plus Greek food. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I like it one day. It's fine. I could never eat it every day. I can only eat so much goat.
Well, especially at the outdoor events.
Yeah.
They're going to sell that at a stand. Your souvlaki's going to go bad.
Something else. Leaves aren't food. And that's just my thing. I don't know if everybody feels that way, but a leaf is not food. It's something that you pick. You move out of the way when you get to the fruit.
Smarty Jones' racing career is over, Ronnie.
Tell me about it. He stinks on ice.
He's being put out to pasture because of chronic bruising of the hooves. I think I have that.
Yeah, I think you do, too. It's just that I think you got black and blue toenails.
Either that or circulation's bad, but yeah. I have chronic bruising of my hooves.
Why don't you try soaking your hooves at night? Here's the problem with Smarty Jones, and I think it's a good idea to put him at the pasture. They should have just did it one race earlier because you broke my heart. You know Seabiscuit, and I was cheering for you. And when that horse lost, and I could not believe I felt this way, a sadness rolled over me as if something happened to me.
I didn't think he was going to win, and I figured I would just be wrong again. And when that other horse started creeping, and I don't even remember who the horse that won was. And he starts creeping up along the outside. It's like, I can't believe this is happening.
He was beat by Asshat. That's who beat him. Asshat!
Asshat should be in the Racing Hall of Fame.
That's the most human I've felt in a long time. I honestly felt sorry for a horse. who had no idea he lost or won. That's the thing that made me mad about myself.
It was so bizarre. The winning jockey, they're interviewing him, and all he can do is apologize. You know, he wins the Preakness.
And broke a nation's heart.
And all he can say is, I'm sorry, I had to do my job.
I had no idea his hooves were bruised.
Chronically.
He stinks. There's nothing wrong with his hooves.
We will never get another. We will never get another Triple Crown winner in our lifetime.
I am so mad at that horse, Fezzi. I would use the glue myself if they took him to the glue factory. I would actually sit there and make arts and crafts out of him. That's how bad he broke my heart.
I'm making Chinese lanterns just so I can use this Smarty Jones glue.
God, I hate that horse now.
I hope he's on the opposite side of the studding.
Thank you. Let him get into a little gay studding. See how much he likes being put out the stud. Mudding is what they're calling it now.
We're going to need spy reports tonight. JonBenet Ramsey's father is in a tight four-way race in today's primary.
Oh, okay. So it's nothing with kids.
No, it's not that kind of tight four-way.
Good.
It's the primary race for the State House seat in Michigan.
Who would vote for this guy?
So there's 4 Republicans going for the nomination. He's in second place. There's 2 that are behind him.
Yeah, it was Charles Manson not doing too well. Son of Sam hasn't really kicked off his campaign the way he wanted.
So somehow this guy is just catching the imagination of the Michigan voter.
How could he not? How could he not? I got away with murder. What do you think I'll do in Washington?
And they say this district is so Republican populated that whoever the nominee is, you're just assured victory in November.
Right.
So this is basically the election tonight to see if JonBenet Ramsey Sr. is going to end up as the state congressman.
Yeah, it's the name of the town is GOP Michigan, Fezzi, and it shouldn't be a problem to move on to November.
The Illinois GOP, they're talking to Alan Keyes about running against Barack Obama for the U.S. Senate seat.
Alan Keyes?
This is how far down the pecking order.
He is the Republicans' nightmare, basically. The last time he went out, he was a crazy man, wasn't he?
He was a nut, and he sounds like Kermit the Frog when he talks.
He's kind of like their Al Sharpton. He's outrageous, yet he has that GOP way of being unfun.
And I love this. Doesn't live in Illinois.
Well, how's he going to get there? How can he run?
If he establishes residency by Election Day, November 2nd, he can be on the ballot.
Now, how would you like to move there and lose? Now you're stuck. Now suddenly you live in the suburbs of Illinois like an idiot.
It's so ridiculous that I understand Barack Obama, a big star at the convention. There isn't a Republican in Illinois that even feels like challenging the kid?
I'm not sure there's a Republican in Illinois, Fuzzy. They've always done pretty well for themselves.
And now you have to go to Alan Keyes down your pecking order, and it's just so obvious what the Republicans are doing. Find us a black Republican, quick.
If you're going to move... Well, they tried Ditka. That didn't work out for them. Why don't they move JonBenet's father in? See if maybe he'll take a shot at it.
He's doing so well in Michigan.
Nobody can beat Obama right now. He is the new Smarty Jones for me. He's stolen the nation's heart. And his dad was a goat herder.
Tom Cruise says he's not giving up on love. He added that he loves relationships and he loves women.
All right, most men wouldn't have to point this out. When I say I haven't given up on love, I mean the love of women, not the rumors that you people keep saying.
Yeah, it's really rough when someone has to have a press conference. I love women, just to scream it out there.
I love women, not Buzz Burbank.
Mike Piazza, Michael Vick.
Yeah, there's more guys that are doing that I'm not gay thing that they got to pull off every once in a while. And it's not the most studly thing you can do.
Who do you think's going to be next for Mr. Tom Cruise?
I'd like to see him find a nice Scientology girl. Somebody out of the limelight, somebody who believes that we're all going to be picked up by a spaceship and taken out to different galaxies. Somebody that he can relate to. Nice spiritual girl.
Like a Kirstie Alley?
They don't all have to be famous. The famous are not forced to date famous. I mean, just a nice Scientology girl who can make them Scientology food and keep an eye out for them.
I think he's going to go a little older this time. I think he's going to do maybe something like a Kim Cattrall or something along those lines.
All right, so your guess is Kim Cattrall.
Yeah, Kim Cattrall or a much older actress.
All right, yeah, that's Fez's Radio Psychic.
Radio Psychic. Radio Psychic.
J-Dubs wants to get into this. What do you got for us, Dubs?
I'm thinking that's Paris Hilton's next stop.
I think she's too trashy for him, and I think she's too sexy. He likes a girl who doesn't really,
I think it would be kind of like a challenge for him. I can bring this girl back to being a good girl.
I honestly think it lowers his stock if he does something like that.
Why doesn't he get back together with Mimi Rogers, who just captures our hearts every time she goes on a celebrity poker tournament? That's all she does now. Every different channel. And Mimi Rogers. I'm going to go all in. Every time I say her, she's going all in.
She is eventually going to become our Brett Summers.
Now, I wish that you could go all in your marriage. That would have worked for me. It's time to open up the phones now. And I thought we'd get started with this because I was talking with some people about it's kind of good to have politics back. Everywhere you look, people are talking about the election. And yet still half the country is not going to vote. Now, I'm not like you, one of those guys who's made every election. And I will tell you the truth. I've never picked a winner in my life. Most of the time on purpose, I would go off the boards on some third-party candidate, throw my vote out there along with my disgust, or even go, why bother going in? Because when I had to look at when the third-party candidate was that maniac from Texas, I wanted no part of that.
Ross Perot.
Yeah, I wasn't going to throw in on the Ross Perot thing. But half of us are not voting on what a lot of people call the biggest election of our lifetime. I want to hear from those people, the people who go, even though this is supposedly a big election, I want no part of it. 866-277-4969. 866-277-4969. Give us a call right now. Dubs, are you a voter?
Yes, I am.
You don't seem like one.
You would strike me as the non-voter type.
I voted. The elections for my state governor was right after I turned 18, so
that was a big one for you, huh?
Yeah, Jeffrey Feiger.
Oh, yeah, I had him on the show before when we were in Florida, yeah. Now, did you know who his brother is?
No.
His brother is Doug Feiger, who had a huge hit, My Sharona, with the Knack.
Really?
Yeah. Jeffrey Feiger used to take care of Dr. Death Kevorkian. He used to be his lawyer. All right, 866-277-4969. 866-277-4969. This is just for people who still go, I'm not voting this year. I don't want any part of this crazy rat race. I don't see the difference between them. 866-277-4969. We'll be right back. It's the Ron and Fez Show.